There is another looming showdown at the Augusta House next week, as Kenya Kwanza and Azimio One Kenya are claiming to be the majority in the National Assembly and the Senate.
Political members are allowed to shift, only that we have now caught in a very bad political manners in this country, where a member just comes fresh from election, and before even he's sworn in, before even the returning officer announces the results, the member has already shifted.
You know, they've been saying they have the majority, but in little sense when you look at the pictures, even what we portrayed when we're electing the Speaker of the National Assembly and when we're electing the Speaker in the Senate, you know, the Kenya Kwanza Speaker, he's the one who was elected. The Kenya Kwanza Speaker in the Senate, he's the one who was elected. So at the end of the day, when you're talking about the majority, you wonder where this majority.
Both factions are angling to clinch the coveted seats of the majority and chief whip positions of both houses. Kenya Kwanza have recommended that Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah to be the majority leader of the National Assembly, as Azimio settled on Ugunja Member of Parliament Opiyo Wandayi.
And the constitution is quite clear. The numbers are quite clear. If Azimio claims to be the majority, they must show us their numbers. Azimio is a political party, and I think that's the distinction that should be clear to everybody.
The question of which side is the majority in the House is not there. That is a matter of the Constitution, the statutes, and the standing orders. Yeah, anybody who is conversant with those three pieces of law would obviously come to the conclusion that Azimio is the majority party in the National Assembly.
Both camps are awaiting to hear from the National Assembly Speaker Moses Masika Wetangula on the matter. President William Ruto and the Azimio leader Raila Amolo Odinga asked their troops to show their numbers next week to ensure they win the various House leadership positions that are in contention.
So in terms of then the Speaker accepting who is the majority, he is going to use the definition of majority in accordance with the Registrar of Political Parties. The Registrar of Political Parties shall submit a letter to say this is the coalition, this is the number of parties, or these are the parties in Azimio. She will also submit these are the parties in Kenya Kwanza.
They had the agreement. So why now bring so many things and so many disagreements? And we are member of Parliament. We are here in Parliament as one Kenya. We are all Kenyans. We want to serve Kenyans because we are members who are elected by Kenya.
Although the Azimio coalition has 185 members of Parliament in the National Assembly, as per the coalition agreement signed and deposited with the Registrar of Political Parties under Ritu, a number have since shifted their allegiance to Kenya Kwanza that originally had 152 legislators.
So what will happen is that those UDM members, or the UDM party, right? If they want to help Kenya Kwanza, they should be patient until Kenya Kwanza to be patient. Let them now follow the legal procedure of disengaging. But you have to follow certain procedures, which is what? They will file, for example, a divorce. And that divorce will have to wait until 3 months after election.
Individual political parties that were being coerced to join Azimio, and that is a matter then you leave to the judiciary to make a determination on. The Speaker must act as a neutral arbiter, and he acts as a neutral arbiter. The Speaker might have been elected, sponsored by Kenya Kwanza, but he doesn't sit as Speaker for Kenya Kwanza.
The shift has given the Kenya Kwanza numerical strength of 179 MPs against Azimio's 170. Azimio was made up of 26 political parties, among them the ODM, Jubilee, Wiper, and the Democratic Alliance Party of Kenya, DAPK. However, UDM with 6 MPs in the National Assembly and 2 senators, Movement for Democracy and Growth, MDG, that has 1 MP, Pamoja Africa Alliance PA, with 3 MPs, and Maendeleo Chapchap MCC, that has 2 MPs, have since shifted to Kenya Kwanza. In the Senate, Azimio with 30 senators is the second largest party after the Kenya Kwanza coalition that has 36 senators plus an independent senator. This means that Azimio will only likely to back the minority leadership, with the majority leadership going to Kenya Kwanza.